All right, guys and gals, welcome to the video. At this part of the video, I'm starting at the John Williams Way and Riverside intersection where you can turn in and park. And over here, I'm kind of showing you that parking off Riverside that's still not really open. They still keep that closed off for contractors and different people loading things. And this video is not going to be as long as my first video on the Gathering Place. I'm just walking around to see what changes have happened. This is like a year and like a month after it opened to the general public. As you can see, it looks a bit overgrown in some areas, and some of the areas around the pond have filled in actually. But part of the overgrown look is what they wanted for the park. So it kind of, I can't remember what the thinking was behind that. But anyway, everything looks good, and let's get into it. So that's nice. This pond looks a bit better. So you have your typical rock sitting thing. You can see as I walk towards where I parked, this is very overgrown, but again, that's by design. It makes sense. You can't walk in there anyway, so it kind of helps with their direction of traffic and everything. So, but anyway, the difference now is that, you know, it's not completely full, so you can park in here. I parked in here, so you got your little ponds and things, and here is more interior of the park. Like I said, you can just see just a bit more overgrown. Everything looks similar. So, just looking around, you can kind of overlook the park here a little bit. So, I don't know what that is. That's probably a splash pad. But I'm on top of these rocks here. You can see a bit. You have this area that looks pretty similar. I think this rock over here a bit more complete than it was before, so it does look more natural now that there's some overgrowth. So this is more the playground area here. You can see there's an overhang that's pretty nice. They created, and some netting and some fencing here. So I don't think that much has changed. I don't think I showed this before, but you got a fort. I think they built it up a little bit, but you got your castles and your ducks and things, and these swings were here before. So a lot of the food trucks are placed in here. And so there is a way to get in from up there, but and obviously there's parking over here. And so coming up from there, as you can see, there's a playground and all that. But I showed you this trail before, but this trail comes in from Riverside, and you can actually take this all the way downtown. We're a little ways down from where I was, but I wanted to point something else out. This upper lot area, like that's for, you know, park goers, but this upper part seems to be more for contractors. And I think at this point the park is pretty much finished different in that these were not in place prior to. So there's your maintenance and facilities kind of area there. And normally you'd come in from the parking here, so we're gonna go ahead and go this way. Up here, it looks pretty much the same as I showed you before. Like this is open, and I'll walk down there in a second, but I just came up those stairs and we'll walk this way. But good place to kind of overlook the park, and man, that's a drop. So, but if you're afraid of heights, you may not want to come up here. can hear the kids. But there's the pond there. But and there's obviously canoes and things that you could rent in summer areas. There's a loading zone over here. There's always something to do or something going on at this park. Restock, looking at stuff. But we'll come down, and so I just came down from these stairs. I think I mentioned this last year when I was here. This kind of feels like a house overlooking a park, like a modern home from an Audi commercial. So this is one of the bridges here. Obviously, there ain't one here, but yeah, many different ways to get across this park, which I like. You can cross over that way using a bridge, but this area actually sits above the highway right here. So right now we're standing above the highway somewhere, or above Riverside and the river. So that's pretty cool. Here is the bridge, and this is kind of where this is kind of a point of contention with some people. The overgrowth. So when I showed you this a year ago, this wasn't all grown in, and some people think it looks bad, it looks unkept, and it is. It doesn't look very manicured, and that's the point. And you know, that's okay. If you've ever driven through the mountains, it looks like a tunnel that was cut out of a mountain pass. And that's fine. That's completely fine. But there's the parking that I'm a little annoyed at. You see right there, you should be able to turn in and park. There's just a handful of spaces there, but it's annoying that you still can't to me. So, park is, you see how these poles are kind of rusty? That's by design, but you just want to make sure your kids have their tetanus shots, because rubbing up against that, you know, kids can get cuts, have open sores. You don't want anybody getting sick, so in that direction. And here's the structure, so not much has changed, or not anything at all actually. So it's still the same. Got your seating area, those covers are always there. This is always here, nothing has changed. All right, ladies and gentlemen, at this point, I'm going to go ahead and wrap the video up. As you can see, the park just looks more finished, and it looks more natural. There's a better balance to me between nature and structures and that kind of thing, and it looks like something that was cut out of a forest. So I really like that feel. I think last year when it opened, some of the shrubs, obviously the trees had not grown in as much as they could, and there's still growth to be had. But it does look more rustic, and it's not a bad thing. So it's kind of a less manicure is more in that situation. In this part of the video, I'm just driving by showing you the parking lot where people can park. There's a paved lot now. I think last year I parked in a gravel lot, but they have paved it, and they do have an unpaved auxiliary lot. Like I said, that parking, some of the parking off of Riverside directly is not open, which isn't a huge deal because there's only a handful of spaces there. But I actually like to park there because I feel like it's easier to get in and out sometimes. And if you want to cross the street, your car is kind of closer to you kind of thing. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you have not seen my first video on the park, go ahead and watch it. It is a bit more comprehensive, and it'll give you a better idea of what this park is all about. Anyway, I will see you guys in the next video.